Welcome to the committee. We could have a few speakers in opposition, and then I'd like me to, please.
You got it. Good morning, Madam Chair. Ignacio Hernandez on behalf of the California Attorneys for Criminal Justice and also the California DUI Lawyers Association. I will actually defer my time to the two gentlemen to the left of me who are experts in this area, and I think Mr. President Pro Tem hit it right on the head as far as what this bill is about. It's already illegal to drive while impaired under the influence of drugs. This bill goes a lot further than that, so I'll defer my time.
Thank you, Madam Chair and the Honorable Committee. I'm Mike Kennedy. I'm representing...
Please speak into the microphone, yes.
I'm representing California DUI Lawyers Association, and I guess I'm kind of representing myself, too. And I've been doing this for 31 years. I've been a federal judicial law clerk. I've been a DA. I've been a defense attorney. I've been a law professor. I've seen all of this stuff from every side, and I appreciated the honorable senator's observations that this is a proposed strict liability statute, and strict liability, generally speaking, is not something that in enlightened society is going to enact and make criminal. Now, you know, I am kind of torn in what's going on about this statute, because as a criminal defense attorney who charges more than probably anybody else, I would like to have screwball laws out there so that people have to pay me to unravel them and to protect them. And so I have an interest in this kind of substandard legislation. But from a standpoint of constitutional purity, and from a standpoint of my soul lasting longer than my pocketbook, this thing makes no sense. Now, you know, I've been teaching lawyers for years about how to do their work. Now it's clear to me from what I'm hearing from some people I need to be teaching some legislators. I just heard that it's illegal to drive with alcohol in your system. It is not illegal to drive with alcohol in your system. Drinking and driving is not illegal in this statute. Driving under the influence, because what we want to focus on is harmfulness, dangerousness, wrongfulness. We do not, in an enlightened society, set up a status offense and say, if you are this category, you are going to jail. And that is precisely what's going on with this proposed piece of legislation. But let me show you what I can do with this piece of legislation if it passes, because I am an expert in motions. The presiding judge of my county gave me the nom de guerre of Captain Motion 20 years ago because I am able to do magical things. And let me show you with this statute. This statute says anything, drugs in your blood, period. And then it says we're going to allow an affirmative defense. Now, it doesn't call it affirmative defense, but that's the tricky poo here. It is an affirmative defense of having a prescription, and it's in accordance with valid prescription. How does that come up in the real world? What happens in the real world would be you would be arrested, you would be put in jail, you would say to the officer, I have a prescription, and he'd say, yeah, tell it to the judge. And so then you bail out, and then you pay me $10,000 to come in and litigate this, and then we get into the question of, does your prescription allow this driving or does it not allow this driving? We get into motion work back and forth. We get into the whole question of drawing the blood in the first instance, and as you all noticed from a week and a half ago, we have a new warrant requirement for drawing blood, so I can bring a search and seizure motion that will drag things out. And then I get into the question of in accordance with. Now, then we have to look at the prescription. Does the prescription say, don't drive with this drug in your system? And then what does valid mean? If the prescription was given to you 6 months ago and was told to be renewed every 9 months, is it still a valid prescription? You are allowing me many things to be litigating just so you can have a strict liability statute. And all of the other people who were testifying here were talking in terms of impairment, in terms of under the influencedness. And that is correct. That should be the wrong that we're looking at. Are you a dangerous person? Are you hurting society? Not are you just theoretically possibly going to? And let me tell you about any drug of this sort in your system. There's no question in my mind that when you're talking about the Schedule 1, 2, 3, and 4 drugs, half of the people out here have these drugs in their system. Any kind of anxiety drugs, depression drugs, sinusitis drugs, anything that has been prescribed to you is going to be there, and it's going to be there for a long, long time. So half of the people here better put on their handcuffs now under this new proposed legislation, and half of the people up here, because those drugs stay in your system for a long, long time. And that part of it we'll get into with Mr. Okorocha. So we need to be careful about what we're asking for here, because sometimes the things you ask for are worse than what you think the problem was that caused you to ask for it. Now, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Okorocha, who is the scientist who understands about how long things stay in your system and the pharmacological effects. The impairmentness does not last anywhere nearly as long as it stays in your system.
Good morning. My name is Okori Okorocha. I am a forensic scientist. I have a master's degree in pharmacy with a specialization in forensic science, and I have qualified as an expert witness in 17 California counties. Blood testing is not straightforward. It is not easy, and it takes analysis. For example, a positive test that would be for heroin or morphine can result from eating poppy seeds on a bagel, or even half a bagel. Opioids are contained in poppy seeds, bagels, ethnic foods, routine foods that people eat or eat as part of a religious ceremony or just get at the grocery store. Furthermore, over-the-counter drugs such as Vicks VapoRub, you will test positive for methamphetamine. You will also test positive for amphetamines if you have cold remedies in your system anywhere. These can last for 3 days. There are 14 different medications that turn into amphetamines while your body metabolizes them. Baby wash can produce cannabinoid levels in your blood. You can also have endogenous benzodiazepines. So that covers diazepam, Klonopin, Xanax. These things stay in your system for many days, and these are only dealing with false positives. When it comes to the actual drug, there are 230 million opiate prescriptions a year. That is, out of 300 million Americans, we have 230 million prescriptions for opiates. The amount of people that would need to be arrested and just tested based on field sobriety tests to get to the blood test, and I am peer-reviewed published on field sobriety tests, they are conclusively no better than guessing. If anybody needs any further clarification on field sobriety tests, I'd be happy to prove it.
I'd like to have others be very brief, please. Just if you have something to add, but nothing.
Yes, Dale Geringer with California Normal, and I won't reiterate the strong scientific evidence that impairment is not necessarily correlated with what's in the bloodstream. You can take these experts or the government's own experts on that. One extra point, though, I would like to add, there's no DUI crisis going on in California right now. If you take a look at California's highway safety record, we have one of the best records in the country. Accident rates have been declining continually. We recently made a new record low in California. The DUI arrest, not conviction, arrest rates have also declined to a 10-year low in California. California has, I think, an 86% conviction record for DUI drugs as well. All of these are superior to most other states. I think the California law enforcement is doing a good job arresting people for DUI. There's no problem, and if there were, this wouldn't be the way to attack it.
In opposition.
Hello, this is Lynette Davies with Crusaders for Patients' Rights, and I'm in opposition to this bill because it makes law-abiding citizens criminals.
Kim Horiuchi with the ACLU of California in opposition.
Others?
Americans for Safe Access.
My name is Ron Mullins, and I am with Sacramento Normal. I am in opposition. Just from what I've heard today, it sounds like they're trying to subvert the court system and the jury system. And I think that our laws in place currently do cover this.
My name is Greg Tanner. I come here as an individual, a parent, a taxpayer, and a voter. I believe that 289 does not enhance public safety. It is not founded on sound scientific principles. It is not in step with public opinion. And it's more of the same old tired, costly, damaging drug war mentality, which has brought our state in a lot of problems as far as the budget and dealing with problems.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shona Gokinar, Patients for Compassionate Use Policies. I'm also a poor people's and poor patients advocate, and I have concerns regarding targeting and profiling of poor patients. I'm in strong opposition.
Sherry Martinez, I'm a resident of California, and I oppose this bill.
Rich Miller with Health Education, Legal Patients' Rights, Crusaders for Patients' Rights, and Americans for Safe Access, Sacramento chapter. We strongly oppose this bill. We already have DUI laws in place, and I'd like you to take into consideration what if any one of you up on there, that panel, should take 2 Claritin and have glassy eyes and get pulled over, and the officer that pulls you over thinks you're under the influence. You will be tested, your blood will be taken, and you will be prosecuted as being under the influence. This is a very unsafe law. It violates every citizen in the state of California that drives.
Thank
you. I strongly oppose.
My name is Jason Miller with The Human Solution, and I am opposed to this bill because we already have strong enough DUI laws in the state of California. Thank you.
My name is Bob Bowerman. I'm a grandfather. I'm also a patient. What I don't get is that if I medicated a couple of days ago and I got pulled over with glassy eyes because I was crying or something and got tested, I would get a DUI.